Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so for Purgatory Meliodas, this is a video on should you summon. I wonder, can you guys guess what I'm gonna say? Anyways, this is the time for when he drops. 10 p.m. my time. It's gonna be a little bit late, probably about 30 minutes to an hour before I actually go live. I will be going live for my summons, so subscribe if you want to see that. So we'll be going over the banner, his kit, should you summon. Probably already know. Let's hop into it. His banner. Oh, I'm covering it. His banner is absolutely a stack of rude. There's only like a few units that I wish weren't here because the SSR pool is quite large. Pulling the festivals, they're rated up, so it's not terrible. But pulling the specific one you want is kind of annoying. I want to say JBiz, he went like 4 rotations, almost 4 rotations. I don't think he pulled a single Estarossa, if I'm remembering correctly. So you know, and you can't pick any of them at pity, which I wish you could just pick any SSR in the banner at pity. Like, you went 900 gems, bro. Like, you deserve whatever unit you were chasing. Like, trying to pull a Freyr out of this is gonna be very difficult. Obviously it's just RNG, but trying to like singular out one specific SSR that's the only thing that'll make you happy in the long run is very unfortunate, unless it's just Purgatory Melee. So keep that in mind. Other than that, I think the banner is like really good. I wish they would increase rates or something, but that'll never happen. So yeah, that is that. In my opinion, I think he's a must summon. And let's go over why, etc, etc. And honestly, it's not even his cards. Like, his cards are okay, because like Escador can do all of this. Escador can do all of this turn 1. Like, he can do just as much damage, if not more, turn 1. So let's just move back over here and let's zoom in, because my god, I doubt you can read any of these words. Alright, so let's go over the passive. So at the start of the battle, applies 3 bonds of Purgatory. It's going to look like little like grape seeds above your head on the hero when the hero takes damage during the enemy's turn, or when the hero uses a remove 1 bond of Purgatory, or uses a skill removes 1 bond of Purgatory. So you're going to lose one of your little grapes. If you lose 3, you're going to end up getting a huge attack related stat boost, and you cleanse all card debuffs. If it's a passive like Summer Merlin or Tarmio, because I believe his is the Grace? Yeah, I think his is the Grace. Then it will apply after the cleanse. So if it's a passive debuff, it applies after. If it's a card debuff, the debuff applies first, then you cleanse. So like Margaret Ultimate, very cringe that you can literally just use a card, or they hit you or like one of your allies because you're taunted, and Meliodas will just cleanse away the disable effect. Absolutely a broken passive. If he didn't cleanse, I don't think he would be that great. I can't lie, because then you could constantly attack someone, you could disable him, you could do all those things. But since he can cleanse, it's very, very obnoxious. Yeah. So when all stacks are removed, gains True Magic. True Magic is removed after using a skill, and then also True Magic is just a 50% attack with stat buff. Is removed, and then gain 3 bonds of Purgatory again afterwards. In addition, applies an effect that depletes ultimate move gauge by 1 for 2 turns on enemies who did not use a skill. So Ult Rush kind of gets cucked, unless, you know, they just merge a bunch of cards, use 1 card, and then they just taunt up with their shitty little Arthur or something. Very annoying, very annoying. I hate Escador Ult Rush. It's so annoying. When attacking enemies assuming a stance or with a debuff, increases the hero's damage by 40%. So you want to use like a debuff unit like Omniscible Zeldris, or anybody with green Sario Link, something like that. But honestly, I would prefer having Sario, like red Sario Link on Melee. But then again, you could definitely use red Tarmio, and very good as well. So it's obviously up to you. Now he has some of the best stats in the entire game, which you can't really see that many of because of kind of blocking. But he starts off with 15% lifesteal, which is absurd. I think is it recovery rate? I think it's recovery rate. That's a Tarmio link. So he has pretty good recovery rate. Actually, let me compare this to Diane. I actually don't know. Watch not even be the right stat anyway, so it doesn't matter. I guess she increased. She's at 110, but then again, she also increases her related stats with her taunt. So never mind, doesn't matter. He has Frenzy for one of his cards. This is the single target card. Am I blocking it? No, I'm not. Inflicts Frenzy, which Frenzy is 1% additional damage for every percent of the enemy's remaining HP, and it also does Pierce Rate ×2, not ×3 like a regular like Demon Meliodas AoE card. Also, you want to use this like as soon as possible. Like, you don't want to like whittle them down with like an AoE and then single target. You just want a single target and then AoE. You do more damage. So Yeah, I've had quite a few people like showcase that I face, and they AoE first, and then they single target, and then they don't kill like with literally that much HP. Literally, my last video, like 2 matches ended because they AoE'd first and then single targeted. So, yeah, scales all the way to 500%. Does a lot of damage. Very, very good. Unga bunga. I like the AoE more. Like without the attack with stat buff, I hate this card. With it, I love it. The other card is like okay. I don't know. Like you kind of just need the buff though. Realistically, you need a debuff though. I realize that a lot of times I like attack without having a debuff, and like this final little bit just never makes it in my mind. But like that little debuff is crazy. So he has inflict slash, which slash is additional damage equal to 50% of the hero's pierce rate, and the hero has 95% pierce rate. Rank 1 is like 125 at level 100 max cosmetics, and then you're applying 50% more because of the 50% attack related stats. So it's like almost a 200% or almost 100% extra damage, additional damage. Basically, I don't know. It's close. 120% of attack on all enemies. Scales all up to 300%. Very, very good DPS. I've hit like 1.4 million with HP defense gear. Like, it was absurd. Kind of crazy that I hit 1.4 million with HP defense, but only 1.2 with attack crit. Make it make sense. And then his ultimate is very good. You can have him at 1 out of 6, and he's still going to perform. Escanor at 1 out of 6 is shit. I hate him at 1 out of 6. I hate him. Okay, that's that. That's my reasoning. Inflicts magic explosion damage equal to 500% of attack on all enemies, and applies damage suppression on the hero for 1 turn. Now, obviously, there's a lot of multipliers here. But it's still nowhere near as bad as Escanor's shitty revive mechanic. So the multiplier goes up by 50% per ultimate move. Goes all the way to 750. I had a 5/6 Meliodas, not one shot, a Merlin with the Nanashi buff. That shit is crazy. That relic is nasty. Crit resistance, ignore multiplier. 10% at 1 out of 6 goes all the way up to 60%. So basically, if you have it 6/6, you're 100% get a crit, basically. And then you also ignore crit defense, so they take more damage if you do crit, all the way to 120%. Damage suppression multiplier. This is just damage cap. They literally give you damage cap. Up to 40% at 6 out of 6. It's crazy. I will be showcasing a 1 out of 6 Purgatory melee. Unless I get close to the pity, and then maybe I'll go to the pity, and maybe I'll end up getting 2/6. But 2/6 is the absolute maximum that I will go. So, in my opinion, I think he is a must-summon unit. Let me know down below what you guys think. How deep are you guys going to be going? Remember, stream going to be going up at like 10:30, 11 p.m. CST. Hope you guys can make it out to the video. And, yeah. Very good banner, very good unit. I don't really see anything dropping that's mind-boggling until Global Anniversary. Granted, I do think base Mael will be a 600 gem banner unit this month, so keep that in mind. You know, you never know. They could drop literally anything. They could drop Demon King Melee as a non-fest. Why not, bro? Why not? They can make a non-fest just as broken as a fest. They don't have to make the fest the best unit of the game. But obviously that's a very slim chance. Okay. I don't know why I even brought that up. That's not going to happen. They want money. Peace.